Oh, I'm sitting here with a late summer, early autumn treat, butternut squash. This is buttery baked butternut squash. A long time in the oven, and it just absolutely caramelizes the squash. You wouldn't believe what this does to squash. It's a taste you don't expect. It's so good. It's caramelly. It just brings out all the flavor in it. Absolutely delicious. Still quite hot. These are really easy to make. They do take a longer time in the oven, but actual prep time is like 2 or 3 minutes and you're done. That's it. Pop them in the oven. Go relax. So let's go to the kitchen and make buttery baked butternut squash right now. Okay, so we have a butternut squash. We're gonna prepare that right now. Takes a couple minutes and pop it in the oven. That's it. All we're gonna do with the butternut squash is, first of all, I like to cut this little nub off here because it's really hard to cut through it this way. Also gets a little bit in the way in the pan, so let's toss that. When you're cutting it, have a look at, see how this one curves this way? So if we cut it here, it's gonna be really difficult. Let's see, yeah. We don't want to cut it that way. We want to cut it this way so that the curve is on the flat. So this is going to sit nice and even this way. So I'll just take that knife and work it down into there. And there. Go in from the other side. And there we go. Beautiful. So, next thing we're going to do is just scoop out the innards. All right. So, I just like to use just a regular, I've got this really nice round spoon for a dinner spoon. Works great for this. And that's it. Boom. Out it goes. This is a nice little well for all that butter to sit in. Yum. All right, we go in here, scoop this one out. As you see, preparation is pretty easy. Yes, the hardest part is that cut with the knife. Okay, that's it, all cleaned up. Now, what I have here is I got a 1/4 cup of butter, 2 teaspoons of dried sage, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, freshly ground, nice coarse grind, really looks nice on here, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And in fact, if you're in the cooking club, which is free, and anybody can get in there for free, on day 6, I talk about salt. And you'll notice that one of the things I said in there, if you watched that video already, is how salt brings out the flavor in vegetables. What it does to this squash is like some kind of magic. So a good amount of salt we're going to sprinkle over top. So what we're going to do with the butter first thing is we're going to use some of the butter, cut little pieces off, and just kind of smear it up here on the body, just like that. Most of the butter is going to go in the well, but we want to smear some on here so it can be running across and causing all kinds of magic. Look at that. There we go. Get some on there. Now some of this is going to drizzle off, but we're going to be using a roasting pan. It really doesn't matter if some of it drizzles off. If you want, you can always scoop those sauces out after, just spoon them over top for even more deliciousness. All right, so I got some butter spread on here. Now the rest of the butter I'm just going to cut in half. Toss one in each well. And I'm going to take some of that sage and just basically divide it between the two. Actually, before we do that, let's just put them straight into the pan. That way if we spill any sage, it's going to end up in here, not all over the counter. So, small roasting pan. Look, oh, perfect fit. Perfect fit. See, that little knob would have gotten in the way. All right, so now let's just sprinkle some of that sage on here. Some across there. And then some into the well. Oh, it smells great. Pepper. We're just being really liberal with this. Just lots of pepper on there. It really doesn't taste very strong peppery when it comes out of the oven. What you're going to get is this squash really caramelizes with the butter getting in there and that salt bringing out the flavors in it. And it's not really very peppery. It's very mild. So now there's salt. Again, we're being really generous. Like, this salt is really important. This is the flavor puller outer. All right, so that's it. Preparation done. These are going to go in the oven now. The oven has been preheating, and it's at 350 degrees or 180 Celsius. And we're going to put it in the oven. Now, this is where it takes time. It takes 90 minutes in the oven. But you do nothing. You just leave it in there for 90 minutes in the oven. It's going to come out absolutely perfect, ready for dinner. All right, let's get them in the oven. And there we go. Look at that. After 90 minutes, they're just absolutely caramelized and delicious. And what you do now, see, we've got lots of butter still pooled in here. That butter is actually, in the next few minutes, is going to soak in. By the time you're going to eat it, the butter has soaked into it even more. But you take a little bit of it and just pour it over top here. Just a little bit of extra deliciousness. Just kind of soak into those herbs again. And this is really good also as a side dish to go with our baked maple apple compote pork chops. And it's a long mouthful, but they're delicious pork chops. And this squash and those pork chops just go together fantastically. So enjoy. Now, if you go to the link appearing on the screen, you can get the free printable recipe on our website. You'll also find a real easy to follow along recipe infographic, which visually shows you steps in making these caramelly, delicious, buttery baked butternut squashes. So go print out the recipe, have fun making and eating these squashes, and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.